Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Adam is going to work on tasks that he finds interesting and or engaging today, since yesterday was Sucky Tasks Day. The main goal will probably be to work on the Dungeon Racer subgame in Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. Yeah. So I did a bunch of stuff yesterday, and then my AI usage reset, and I still did a bunch of stuff. And I don't remember what any of that is now because I did quite a lot yesterday. So let's take a look at the log. Minus 15. Face down after standby. Fade out player after falling. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember. What else? Do we have anything like interesting and worth showing off here? Not really. Yeah, not really. So I gave AI my entire to-do list and I said, like, go find tasks that you're confident doing. And then did my normal flow after that. But it enumerated a bunch of things. Actually, it found a bunch that were finished. It wasn't right about all of these, but this also let me clean up my to-do list a little bit. So now there are only 19 pages worth of tasks. Just 19. Just a small number of to-do items, as most people would expect. So yeah, today I think we want to move the Dungeon Racer game forward. And I thought of something else here too. Hey Spirit, and hey Magnus. Hope today will be an exponentially productive day. Me too. For everybody. So it is the 15th, yeah. All right. So I want to work on the Dungeon Racer. I thought of an interesting idea, which is right now, let me just launch this and show what I think the problem is. So you start in a Zelda-like dungeon, right? And you can like go down the stairs and there should be some puzzles you can do and whatever else. And then eventually you're going to bomb the wall and the floor will start falling away. And when you die here, it puts you into endless mode. And I was like, I don't really think this communicates that it's broken, right? Like you just respawn in a different place and now the floor starts falling here and you just have to keep running. I think what might be better is whenever you fall, it just drops you to the next like incarnation of this dungeon. It doesn't even say game over. So you cannot game over this way. I think that is a much smarter way of doing things. So I think that's the first thing we should do. And I really, really like this idea. And this is where I don't know if you can design this stuff ahead of time. Like it wasn't until I actually tested this and I'm like, it doesn't really feel right. But it sounded fine ahead of time. So where do we have the, Dungeon Racer? Here it is. Floor comes away. You're expected to die in this room. You're expected to fall in this room. And rationale for not dying. I originally had it where you would see a game over screen, but it wasn't convincing that the game was broken. I think it's better if every time you fall, you end up in another instance of the endless dungeon reset to level 1. Yeah. So I think that's the first change we make. Okay, so instead of getting a game over when you fall in the Dungeon Racer, it should fade to black and create a new... Should it reset the music? No, probably not. In which case I'd only have one music track. Maybe I still have two. I'm not sure. Anyway, instead of getting a game over when you fall in the Dungeon Racer, it should fade to black and create a new... create a new endless dungeon. This means that it should not restart the entire game, since that would reset any music playing. Not that it exists now. All right, we're going to do this in a new work tree. I have some outstanding change. Oh no, I deleted them. Okay, well, I meant to delete them. I just thought I hadn't done that yet. All right, so let's do this. Hey, spacesuit. Yeah, written thoughts, tips, and tricks or guidelines about how you handle picking models, effort level, context, sessions, and agentic services like Codex or Claude in your public notes or somewhere else. Hey, Spacesuit. I don't have very much about this because I pretty much only use like, well, until very recently, it was like one agent at a time. So there wasn't too much to think about there. And in terms of, I'm on the $20 a month plan, even setting my usage to, what do they call it on the old plan? Maybe it was extra high or very high or something. I don't remember what. But even setting it to that pretty much all the time, I still wouldn't go through my quota. So I pretty much just had it set to, as good as possible. I just didn't use extra fast mode. So yeah, I'm not doing anything really all that special. In fact, you just saw the way I go about my workflow here. It's if something is maybe slightly ambiguous, just run a plan and then eventually have it implement it. And here I'm running on Sol extra high. There is one level higher than this and it is ultra. And I did use ultra twice so far, I think. And I think it's okay. It's not bad. Yeah, so unfortunately I just don't have a lot. I haven't really formalized my flow for this yet. Someone had mentioned yesterday Gstack, and I looked into this, and it's interesting. I think the idea is kind of neat. It's, where is it? Yeah, here it is. It turns Claude Code into a virtual engineering team. So you have someone who's going to look over your product and then your design and then your tests and then any code that you're writing. And you pretty much just pass off between all these different things. And they've got a bunch of examples here like, hey, I want to build a daily briefing app. So you type /office hours and it asks you about it. And then it's like, oh, actually, you probably don't want to build what you said you want to build. It sounds like you want this instead. And it's like, I think this is a pretty interesting way of using AI. I want to be careful about adding too much process because what I'm doing already seems to be working. I think there's always a question of like, what is my efficiency level? And you can't just measure efficiency. You measure like how many lines of code am I typing or how many features am I shipping or how many bugs am I creating or something like that, to the point where let's say you could just make a number for it. Let's say yours is 452. Like, what is your ceiling? Is it, 8,000 and you're really inefficient even though it feels like you're being efficient? Is it 453 and it's not worth getting that extra 1 point? So I don't know what it currently is with AI, but I compare the pre-AI versus post-AI. And pre-AI, if it was X, whatever that might be, post-AI feels like 1.5 to 2x. And it's hard for me to say exactly, but that's what it feels like. So now I wonder, like, all right, if I use Gstack, would it go up to 3x? And maybe I should mess around with some of this stuff, but I'm really focused on getting the playtest ready. Hey, Faceless, hey, Stats, hey, Jesta. High, extra high naming. I mean, I think this is okay. I think this is like what restaurants struggle with too sometimes. You have like small, medium, and large. But what if your large isn't really that large? You don't want to give that opinion across, so you make like a, I don't know, a kid size, a small, and a medium or something like that. So you find all this weird stuff, and it's like, all right, well, you can understand at least as a customer what the order is, and then maybe ask, all right, what does that mean? With AI, it's harder to figure out what does it mean to have high reasoning versus extra high reasoning. Hey, Steven, happy 7 streams. His setup looks similar to that. Yeah, might be. Yeah, is adding bugs a positive metric? Yes. More bugs, the better. When the player is caught, when should the full screen fade begin? Keep the current fall animation, replace the game over sequence with a black screen reset. Yeah, I think it's good. After the new endless dungeon fades in, how should the collapsing floor behave? Preserve the current Y/X. Start automatically. Resume the chase automatically as the new dungeon appears. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what it comes up with for this. Anyway, this is just one thing. I should probably kick off the next thing too here. So this is what we're working on first, and I like writing here what I'm doing. So this one is remove the game over screen. And then the bombing room. So we need to go add in the bomb graphics. I gotta find them first. Snow hex. No, wait. I extracted these somewhere. Where did I put them? Here. All right, where is the bomb? Oh, wait, I wrote it down over here. Main pack all tiles. Main pack new items update. New items update. And there should be animated something in here. Animated bomb. All right, why are there two of these? Oh, one has a shadow and one doesn't. I mean, let's have the shadow one, I guess, right? Hey, G-Tux. If you're good, most code is reuse of stuff you coded before or pinched from someone else, not typed in line by line. I mean, I'd say this has always been the case, is how do you design in such a way that it makes sense, is reusable. I think sometimes with games, it can be a little tough because you don't know what systems you want exactly. And maybe you find out more through prototyping, and then you need to go back and like make your code more concrete. So even the Claude or agents isn't something you think about or specifically ask the model to update. I don't ask the model to update it, but I do have an agents.md, and it's not anything too crazy. It's what you see on the screen right now. So like, here's how you build, here's how you test it. When you need to update localization, here's how you do that. Prefer, putting this next to this, prefer this style of coding. As I come up with things, I put them in here. Yeah, I haven't found too many things to be lacking so far. Hey, Franken, your life's faded. All good code is copied from Stack Overflow. All right, let's go read this. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. All right, replace Dungeon Racers, game over. Oh, you know what else I kind of wanted to do? I don't remember what this number was. I think it was like 65% maybe. But I kind of want to write that down. Beginning of day, like 65%. I have it on video. I just don't recall. But it's a number higher than 63. Or 63, I guess. But it's not much higher than 66, if anything. Okay, keep current falling animation. When it finishes, fade to black instead of showing game over screen. While fully black, stop and reset the falling floor system, including active slice tweens. Detach and free current rooms. Restore the player and camera to their scene-authored starting positions. Reset the player's action, animation, visibility, velocity, collision, and input state. Set this, create a fresh generator, populate a new randomized endless dungeon. Sounds good. Fade. Well, actually, okay, so we can change that later. I don't know how we want to do this yet. This is something playtesting will teach us. Fade back from black over 0.5 seconds. Yep. Track the active generator. Well, we could enable player input before that, I guess. We'll see. Half a second isn't too long, but sometimes, like if you get stunned in a video game for half a second, sometimes it feels like an eternity. Track the active generator in Dungeon Racer, so repeated endless deaths, replace it cleanly. Remove Dungeon Racer's game over screen. Actually, can you game over? What happens when you die? Hey, Liquidor, how did WoW go? It's the best case scenario. Often for time efficiency, I find myself coupling classes where I could have used interfaces. Yeah. I think this is always the figure out where you're instilling tech debt and be mindful about it, because sometimes it is the best decision for the sake of the project. Maybe you are bored of the code and you will lose motivation if you stay on it. Maybe you have a deadline of tomorrow and you don't have the time. I heard about agents and all those documentation that came to multiply the usefulness. I immediately thought of you. Yeah, I haven't done too much with it yet. Install Godot, nice. How do you feel about it? Yeah, same grind. All right, remove game over screen. So this, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure about what should happen when you die. So like, let's say you get eaten by a slime. It should probably say game over. So we should probably keep this. And it should just be when you lose life or fall into a spike pit or something. At which point, how do you... Actually, that doesn't answer that question. Like, why do you respawn at all? Maybe you don't have life at all and every enemy just slows you down or knocks you backward so that you're more likely to fall. Okay, that's kind of interesting. What if every death is a falling death, basically? I mean, slowing you down probably doesn't make sense, because if you're fighting them, that means you're pretty much invincible, right? So they'd have to knock you back. And that also doesn't really make sense, because what if they're on the left of you? Slowing you down doesn't sound great, because sometimes you're fighting them, so you'd basically be invincible. Knocking you backward wouldn't make sense if the enemy is toward the falling side and you aren't. So it could be that they reduce your coins, and your coins are what allow you to move fast enough. Maybe that's how this works. This is like Sonic the Hedgehog. In Sonic, though, you always lost all of your rings at once. But still, imagine you've got like 100 coins to start with, and that means that you move at 80 pixels per second. And 0 coins means you move at like a glacial 20 pixels per second. And 1,000 coins means you move at, I don't know, 200 pixels per second or something. So every time you get hit, if you lose like 10 coins, you are slowing down. Sure, it doesn't matter during the battle, but it would matter after the battle when you're like, uh-oh, I'm moving really slowly. That could work. I think it would feel bad though, because, you know, you win a fight, but you took a couple of hits and now you're moving really slowly and there aren't any coins up ahead. Or maybe we just have tons of coins for that reason. I don't know. I kind of like this idea though. It's annoying. Scenes and nodes and instances. The fact that you export variables so they can be edited in the editor is just confusing me constantly. Get the point of variations and such. But has it been a challenging day? Yeah, I would say start with like one paradigm. So exporting variables is something like we barely use because a lot of the time we're going to configure things through code anyway. So being able to set in a scene that like, oh, the type of this is fire versus water versus whatever, rock or something like that. It's like, yeah, you could do that. And sometimes maybe that makes the most sense. But sometimes it makes sense to just be like, make new creature, creature type dot rock. And this knows how to make everything for you. So yeah, sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you feel like it's busy work or something. I would say if you're just starting out, definitely check out the getting started guide and come up with like a really small game project like Pong to make. Because yeah, then you could do everything through the editor, everything through code, and it'd be pretty minimal. Confused by location of state. I'm used to global state or something in config. Currently I'm doing things locally per scene. I mean, you could still have global state if you wanted to. I think with games in particular, there's almost always some like save system or some progress that you make throughout the game. And maybe it's just a high score, for example. So you might think like, okay, well, that's global state. It could be that the game stores it and has some like save manager or something. And it could be you just have a static int somewhere. My game so far. Oh, this is looking good. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like you're getting the hang of it. All right, so I still haven't answered this question. I kind of like this idea of your coins are your speed and enemies make you lose coins. Or really any damage makes you lose coins. So the only way to die is for you to fall, which is guaranteed to happen eventually if you can only move fast enough. Vampire Ball Vipers. That's a great name. Engine does it all. Yeah. And also it's like, okay, that tower that you have in the middle, if you wanted to make another one of those, you should just be able to instantiate a new one and put it in. And if you can't, then it means you need to refactor your code a little bit. But then, yeah, you just drag another one onto the scene. Okay, maybe we should test this out. Yeah, maybe we should try this. I kind of like this idea. And maybe that's what we can do today. So we can get to the point where we can test this for real. So idea, what if the only way to die is to fall? And the thing that makes you fall is losing coins when you get hit. Coins are basically your running speed stat. And we do something like 0 coins is, 20 pixels per second or something. 100 coins, what you start with is maybe 80 pixels per second. And 1,000 coins, like the max, would be 200 pixels per second or whatever feels good. If money is your speed, can you take your credit? Hey, Orisius. Yeah, you take out a loan and you just move super fast. Currently an instance manually created as a child of another scene. This concept is still making my brain hurt. Also because I accidentally detached the script from the instance itself versus the base scene. So in general, what they say for Godot is that anything you see in your game should probably be its own scene. Anything you sense in your game should probably be its own scene. So for example, if you can hear music right now, like that should probably be its own scene or node. Like this character would be its own scene or node. The walls and floors itself would be its own scene or node. This thing is probably its own scene or node, although you could consider that part of the floor. So yeah, that's a good way of thinking about things. So like your tower would be a scene and the bullets it shoots would be a scene. Yeah. All right. I like the idea of this. This is pretty cool. Also, I'm all over the place already. All right. So yes, removing the game over screen sounds like a good plan. This is exactly what I find happening with, well, really any development. And it's why I have this command here from Malcolm in the Middle of replacing a light bulb. Is there a way to stop this from happening? Apparently signing in. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to show this apparently. Yeah, so we saw this part of the design and had to answer some other questions here. I do want to try this out. So don't change main or subgame hosts. The root must remain unchanged. Local interfaces, add a player reset method. Sounds fine. Add an explicit falling floor reset operation that stops processing, clears register. Yep. And now how do you read this if it's underneath this UI? This is something I never understood about Codex. Like I have to collapse the plan so that this isn't blocking it. Okay, yeah, this sounds fine. All right, so we're going to implement that. At the same time, we're going to go implement this. So let's go put this over here. Sprites, objects, dungeon racer. All right, now what does this look like? We have the bomb, then the explosion, then it disappears on its own. And if I just play this out, what's the URL for this? Snowhex. It's in here somewhere. This one? Also, what are they selling this for? Yeah, $6. Where's the bomb? Yeah, here. So they loop in the, it's about to explode for a little bit. It turns red 3 times. Yeah, and there's only one red here. So they must loop in that part of the animation for a little bit. All right, so where does it loop well? Let's go and try this out in, I don't even have Godot open. Oops, I also don't know which version of Godot I just opened right there. No, that's good. Okay, so open this up. All right, so we're just gonna make a new scene here and we're gonna make a new animated sprite 2D and give it the bomb graphic. I'd love for there to be a search bar in here. That'd be wonderful. I could just type bomb and it would just find it for me instead of having to navigate all the way over to here. All right, so this is 48 by 48. Yeah, so I'm gonna just drag every single frame for right now. Nope. Oh my God, this is so difficult. It looks like I just clicked and dragged and it didn't do anything. This has been possibly a bug for a while now. Anyway, there we are. So now we want to figure out if we just zoom in on this and set its texture to nearest. There we go. And hit play. This is what it looks like. Yeah, so that is not sufficient. We got to figure out how to loop this. And it's really hard for me via visual inspection to figure that out. This spark frame is the same as this spark frame. And this one's the same as this one. So we probably just loop these 6 frames. Yeah. That's my guess. I don't know for sure. So if I just hit, where's copy? Here, and then paste. All right, so put them at the bottom. Now we just drag these upward and put them after this. That didn't work. Okay, how's that look now? Oh, I somehow deleted a frame. I think this should have been at the end. No, this looks bad. Also, it should probably be animating at like 10 frames per second, maybe. Maybe it gets faster. No, like wiggles back to the side. Do I delete this frame? Man. All right, let's go frame by frame here. Or like this, maybe. Can you even go frame by frame? Play from start. Yeah, it's almost like this shouldn't be here either. Like, see here, it looks like the animation is pretty consistent. I think I'm only supposed to use one of those red frames. But which one? Up, out, down, in, up. Nope. Yeah. So I think that's the issue. Up, out, down, in. Wait, that's frame 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I think I want to delete this one. All right, how are we looking now? No, then it should go out again, right? So this and this frame are kind of the same. So challenging for me. If only I could just see things. All right, so then it goes out to the squishy one again. All right, let's delete this. The explosion part is fine. Let's just delete everything here. Yeah. So now we add in these frames again. Down in. And then delete frame 5. Okay, now I think we're finally good. Yeah. So we can loop this as much as we need. Did they explain how to do this in here? No, they just have the preview. Because I don't even know how I'd replicate this at this point. I guess let's take a picture and try to annotate this. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's how I think this is supposed to work. So if we loop that 5, 6, 7, 8 now a bunch of times. So this. And then add in the rest of the frames afterward. Then we should have our animation. We set this to 8 frames per second. Yeah, that looks pretty good, right? I think so. Why does it go back to blue? Is there a frame missing? No, that's just how this works. Yeah. Yeah, I think we did it. And if we really want to make it look a little bit more convincing, we just make this frame have an extra duration of like 1.5. So it'll stay on that frame right before it's about to explode. Or maybe this one should be like 1.25 and this one should be 1.25. No, this one should probably be faster. Always blue. I I like the idea. I don't think it actually pans out in practice. Yeah, like I want this one to be even faster, maybe like 0.75, and then this one can be 1.25. Maybe even 0.5. Hey, Saurav, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a little while. What's been new? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. All right, so I was originally going to have AI do this, but I guess I just figured it out. So we would save this as the bomb animation. This doesn't really need anything special. We can just make this the scene root and have it autoplay, right? I think so. We can call this bomb. And then save it as, you guessed it, bomb. Dungeon Racer. And autoplay. Done. And I guess stop and save. Yeah, perfect. All right, so I did this in the main repo, and we had the bomb scene. It doesn't do anything yet, but I'll say add animated bomb as its own scene. So now we need to add that into the game at some point. Where is that? Add in bombing. I created bomb.tscn, but with no script. All right, let's go take a look at this now. Implemented the in-place Dungeon Racer reset. Falling now transitions directly into a 0.5 second fade. All right, let's go try it out. Let's go try it out indeed. Reveal in Finder. So we got to go launch this version of the game. Godot for path. ... I won't figure this out. Let's just do this. There. Okay. Let's test it. So as soon as we fall here, it fades us back in over here, and now we just need to keep running. And if we fall here too, it should reset this whole thing. Yeah, honestly, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. CDO is it's change directory of. It's in my Z shell RC over here. So if you search here for CDO, whoops, you will find it right there. And it's a very simple function. If it's a file, it'll switch to, or sorry, if it's a directory, it'll switch to the directory. Otherwise, it'll get the directory and switch into that. So yeah, here you saw me do CDO on a scene file, and it put me into the directory that it's in. This is really nice for when you do exactly that scenario that I have, where I'm like, oh, I want to be in this folder. So I just select anything in it and copy the path of that thing. And then yeah, CDO to it. Hey, Galaxy Inferno, how's the new place? Seems convenient. Yeah, it's pretty nice. All right, this looks great. Great. So now we got to go do git status here. Git commit -am doesn't matter. Copy this over to here. Git cherry pick that. And now we have all the changes over here. And we can review them. Hey, Strawn. All right, endless dungeon generator, initial camera position, initial player position is resetting after fall. Yep, we save that stuff off. Sounds good. Well, kind of sounds good. There might be well, if we always spawn in the same room, it's not a problem. Yeah. Game over screen is deleted or no? It is deleted. Yes. Okay. Init endless dungeon. This is an init over here. So we have multiple inits. That doesn't seem right. Let's put a breakpoint there. I'm not certain this works the way I expect it to. It's like, Bird, what powers it? So it's really simple. It's just we generate a room that attaches to the current room, and anytime we know that we don't have enough rooms attached, we just attach more. So each dungeon piece has an entry point and an exit point, and we just align the exit point of one of the pieces with the entry point of the new piece. So it's just generating rooms, and it can pick any one of them because they all have entry and exit points. It just doesn't pick the same one twice. And eventually we should make it not pick the same one, twice within 5 of these pieces or something like that. But we only have 3 for right now, and there's no real interest or variety yet. I haven't coded any of that. Still lots to do. Love the house and all the space. Fastest internet of my life. Oh, cool. What's the speed? And I'm glad to hear the rest of that too. But tell me about the internet speed. All right, so we are going to fall down over here. It's going to break in once, but will it break in twice? Okay, I don't think that's expected because then it never... oh, wait, it's already null. Oh, so had I continued reading this, remove current endless dungeon generator would have done this. Ah. Now we could use null propagation here if I'm not mistaken. I think we can just do this, right? Yeah. And this is unnecessary. Yeah, I think we can just do that. All right, let's keep reading through the rest of this. So this is fine. Cool. Now what's next? I'm looking forward to seeing this game come to fruition. This particular sub-game, I mean, because I think it'll be pretty neat. I mentioned this a bunch of times, but all the sub-games should be some combination of fun, funny, or story-driven. And this, I think, is one of the fun ones. So is the loot boxes game is kind of fun and a little bit funny, I guess. The farming game is just story-driven. We need some just like straight up jokes. Like they're not even really games. It's just like a 10-second thing just for the setup for a joke. When you're managing tasks, bugs, etc., what tools do I use? Honestly, just Google Docs and GitHub issues. I used to try GitHub projects, but I think for a small team, it's a bad idea. So let's say you're a team of 2 people. You should really just talk to each other. Like, what are you working on? What are you working on? Okay, great. And maybe the way that wouldn't work is if you're in diametrically opposite time zones, you're 12 hours apart, and it's just really hard to be in contact with one another. But otherwise, it's like you don't need a lot of process. The whole point of process is to make sure everyone's on the same page usually. And like you can easily be on the same page as one other person. You can easily be on the same as 2 other people, maybe 3 other people, maybe 4. And then it starts dwindling. Like it's hard to be on the same page as 100 people. And that's where the process starts mattering more and more. So I find that you should be very light on process if you're a small team. So yeah, just keeping all my to-do items in a to-do doc. That's all I really need. Now, if this were a large team, keeping them all here and the rest of the team could take them on is probably a bad idea. At that point, I probably would put them GitHub issues or something. So yeah, hey DevZone. And hey Pickle. It's reached the final state. Blossom badge level 4. Look at that thing. I had to think Pickle said that was a flower back when it was just leaves. 300 megabit. Not sure if that's great in American units. Lots of Europe only does 50 to 200. I mean, if you're happy with it, it's good. I think as long as like can multiple people in your place watch, YouTube or Netflix or something, and does downloading a game take forever? Because almost everything on the internet now that I do is like a quick download, except for some large games. Like I don't end up downloading, mega programs all the time. But yeah, games can sometimes be like 50 gigabytes. And I don't want that to take forever. Yeah. All right, let's keep reading through this. It is resetting after fall. Yeah, this should just check to see if we're in endless runner mode already. So this can be changed to save system.endless or dungeon runner dies endless mode. So if it's enabled already, then just return, or if you haven't pressed this, return. Yeah. And I want to separate this onto, yeah, there we go. Cool. All right, on player caught. If is resetting, then yep, good. This is nice. What do we have here? This got moved, didn't it? No, this used to be in the game over thing. This is fine. Yeah, fade from black, fade to black. Sounds good. Reset as endless dungeon. Remove current generator. So this gets called after the tween is done. Yes. Sounds good. Set room 1 to null. Why do we save room 1? Yeah, why do we save this? So we can free it as you go into room 2. That should probably be changed eventually. Oh, that's my code. I was just doing that to test this out. Where's my cleanup section? I think I deleted it. Dungeon racer cleanup. Consider whether we need dungeon racer.cs to store room 1. I'd love for .cs to not make this into a URL. I only ever mean to type C# script files out, the names of them. Go to 1 gigabit, but that's 70 euros per month. Yeah, we're on 1 gigabit here, and it is, I'd say, more expensive than I'd like it to be, but I do appreciate not having to worry about this stuff. We could probably get by with a cheaper plan. And our company offers up to, I think it's like 2 or 5 gigabits. But at that point, we need to update a bunch of networking hardware. Like, I don't think we'd benefit from it. And I wonder, Wi-Fi 7 speeds, what are they? It says as fast as 40, but like, do you get that all the time? Do you need like perfect line of sight to your router? I don't know. Yeah, at least in the US, I think there needs to be more competition, like actual competition for internet service providers, because very few people have a real choice in the US. Hey, Jerry, Wi-Fi is trash for me consistently. Which Wi-Fi like generation are you on? The house already has Ethernet in every room. Yeah, I think it's nice. Like my computer's connected via Ethernet, but most of our devices are on Wi-Fi, and probably most devices in the future will also be on Wi-Fi too. So it's just like my main computer I want to have be on Ethernet. On player caught is endless mode enabled. True. That's fine. I already looked at that. Of course, that's fine. So we call init again. And maybe, I guess this init is only called once. This can be called multiple times. This can be called multiple times, but see, what is it? Reset endless, remove, yeah. We'll make sure that we've cleaned up beforehand. What is the shortcut for going to the next function? I want to figure that out again. Next. Something with a down arrow. Next method, here it is. What is that? Control, no, Alt Shift down. Control Shift down. There we go. Yeah, this is pretty nice. All right, that way I can scan through this pretty quickly. All right, then we have fade to black after you leave a room. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's that file. That's done. This, we just remove the game over screen. That's easy. Active slice tweens. Why do we need this? So that we can reset them all? Turn this off. Kill a tween. Free it and remove it. We don't need to remove it if you're freeing it. Yeah. I'm gonna write this down before I forget. I guess in my stream of consciousness. Hey, NSO, how you doing? Trying to establish stuff in the area. No idea how good or reliable they are. They just need to be better than Spectrum. Control Shift. Whoops. Up or down. Navigates between methods in Rider. Do I have this written down already? Hotkeys, shortcuts. No. I don't. I don't know if I want to do that. Well, you wrote this down. All right, what's next? This is fine. Falling Fade Tween. What is this? Reset for new run. We could just make a new player. Honestly, that probably makes the most sense. Yeah, I'll write that down in my notes too. We may want to swap out this. It's what, Dungeon Racer Player? Dot this. Oh my god. There. For just making a new player. That way we don't have to reset everything. Hey TJ. Happy Wednesday. All right, now what is this about? This is if you're done falling and you haven't raised the finished thing, then raise it. Yep, that's fine. And that's that. Cool. All right, so remove game over screen. An idea struck me yesterday that we could make the transition to endless mode more convincing if you didn't die before entering it. Yeah, I think we're going to do away with game overs no matter what. And this makes it so we don't even need that UI, which I paid money for that. I wonder if we have any use for it. I'd love for that to not go to waste, but it's probably going to go to waste. Do we need any of this UI? If we have dialogue, we could use this. But like, I don't need a life meter. We do need the coin thing, but that's literally just some text next to the coin graphic. Yeah, we don't need an inventory or anything. All right, I probably should not have purchased this. Oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't have. Yeah, this is probably a mistake. I did buy it, right? Yeah, I bought it. Okay, well, whatever. We're probably not going to need that. Oh, well. How much was it? $5? All right. Not the end of the world. But it's probably a waste of money. I bought the pack, but I don't think I have a need for it. Yuck. All right, so this idea is really cool. I like this. I want to add that. This is done. We do need something indicating what level you're on, I believe. We probably want to indicate which level you're on. And we want to indicate how many coins you have of the endless dungeon. Or maybe... Oh, nice, Galaxy Inferno, yeah. Yeah, we need more good chatters. No, I don't say that to say that there are bad chatters here. I think the current group for the last like month or so has been pretty good. There's been the occasional heckler here and there. I probably want to indicate which level of the endless dungeon you're on. And I mean this, which horizontal level you're on. Maybe we... Yeah, I don't think I want to indicate the vertical level, since that may make players think that they have to keep falling. Is the title of the game not meant literally? I'm not sure I know what you mean. So what I'm thinking of for this particular game, also, hey Kevin. What I'm thinking for this particular game, so it starts out like a Zelda game. You're going through, you're solving some puzzles, and you're killing enemies, and then you end up putting a bomb down against the wall, and the wall starts falling away. And now you try leaving here. You're like, oh, I don't want to die, but there's nowhere to go. Like the staircase wouldn't be there. So eventually you will die here. But dying actually just drops you to the lower floor where now it's an endless runner game. So you can try to, move through this dungeon, and it'll be more interesting than this is I'll just blank right now. But eventually the floor will catch up with you. And this is what I mean by levels. There's a depth, but there's also the how far to the side you made it. So I'm not sure how we'll represent this to the player, but I don't want them to think that you're supposed to just keep falling over and over, because they might do this and be like, oh, I'll just end the game this way, right? But this is not how you leave it. So yeah, you do have to make it to the right side eventually. So it's not really endless, I suppose. But we haven't coded that yet. So you'd just be running forever right now. Randomly planting the bombs you animated around the level as you run. That could be interesting. I haven't thought about that yet. Your thoughts on sunflower seeds? I don't understand how you're supposed to eat them. And I don't particularly enjoy them that much, which is why we gave you the sunflower seeds that I bought. Also, we got to finish that slave run at some point. Yeah, this is super cool. I really, really like seeing this stuff come together. All right, so what's the next thing we should do? So this is done. So maybe we make it so that you can collect coins and... Well, we should probably design this a little bit. First of all, what graphics do we have when it comes to coins? They should all be in here, right? Is there a... No, there's no coin graphic. All tiles? Are there coins in here? Yes, there are. Okay, so let's load this up. Where'd they go? There they are. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors of coins. I don't really think we need to use 6 of them, but we want to use a couple of them. All right, so my idea, coins control your speed, and getting hit makes you lose coins. And what else? You lose, or like you die, well, die is in quotes, I guess. You die only by falling, which only happens when you lose so many coins that you can't outpace the falling floor. So then this is stuff I'm leaning toward, or like ideas I'm leaning toward. And then the ideas that I had in mind, or maybe just questions. Should this be like Sonic, where if you get hit, you can collect coins that you dropped? Should we use different color coins? Maybe yellow is worth 1, blue is 10, and red is 50 or something. Actually, that'd be kind of like Zelda, right? We may want to mimic Zelda rupees just as an homage. Do we need green, red, and blue for that? Do we have all those colors? Yeah, we have them all. Yeah, so in Zelda, A Link to the Past, at least, green was worth 1, blue was worth 5, red was worth 20. I think that'd be kind of neat. And they're colorful. I like that. Bought some a few weeks ago. Read multiple tutorials. Shell kept splintering. Yeah. Yeah. And even if they were already shelled, I'm not sure I would like them all that much. Now, I do keep cashews here, although this is going to get green screened out. But yeah, I like cashews. If the floor keeps collapsing, how would you collect drop coins? So the floor always collapses from left to right. And there's like a decent amount of time before it happens. So like, let's say you're standing here. It's what? 12 seconds, 14 seconds maybe that you have. So if you're fighting something over here and you get hit and you drop some coins, you can still pick them up and then keep running. But yeah, if you're moving too slowly because you've lost too many coins, then you will eventually die here. And then you'll move at normal speed again. I think it's going to be a fun game. So yeah, should this be like Sonic where if you get hit, you can collect the coins you dropped? I think it all depends on how we do this. We could just fling them away from your player. I mean, it's not hard to do that. I guess we could just try it and see how it feels. Now, there's other things we could do about this. Like, this is easy enough to implement that I don't think there's really a problem here. Well, it's easy enough to implement if we have a version of this without the shadow, because these would be on the ground, so they probably wouldn't have a shadow there. We could just take that graphic and make them drop like that. They could still spin too. We could just delete the shadow. Yeah. In fact, we could probably just like clip the whole texture. They don't have those without the shadow, right? Yeah. I could do that myself though. I could just drag a rectangle around that. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem here. We could use this to make the game easier for players. Like, if you're struggling, then we could make it so you drop coins on the ground and you could pick them up again afterward. But I think I'm leaning toward keeping it simple. Just don't have this behavior. Yeah, because the only things that are even going to make you take damage would be things like spikes and enemies. And yeah, you should just avoid those, I guess. All right, should we use different color coins? Yeah, that sounds good. So add green coins worth 1, blue worth 5, and red worth 20. How many coins would you lose when you get hit? Green coins being worth 1 is probably not great, actually. Because that means that one single red one kind of invalidates getting 20 green coins. It's not really invalidating, it's all additive, but... Yeah, we probably have to do like 1, 3, and 5. That's a little bit better. And maybe there could be a very rare like gold coin worth 10 or something. Yeah. Yellow worth 10. Are they going to go after me for a copyright infringement for using the colors and values? No, this sort of thing is very defensible of just, hey, we've got some color graphics, we're going to use them. If I name the character Link and make them look like Link, and they fight against Mario and Pikachu teams up with them, then they're going to be knocking on my door. All right, now what about this? You got to start with coins so that you have something you can lose. And when you get down to 0, you got to be moving so slowly that you can't outpace the floor. And not just that it's not fun. So falling floor, how fast does this move? 16. We probably just need to increase the speed of this over time. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe 0 makes you move at like 10 pixels per second. And maybe getting down to 50 coins is 20 pixels per second. And every time you get hit, you lose 20 coins. Yeah, and going from 100, I mean, you had to collect quite a lot of coins. We might put them all over the dungeon. Maybe each dungeon piece is expected to have like 10 to 20 coins on it. Which means you could get hit once per dungeon piece as long as you collect all the coins. That's probably reasonable. These are good starting points. We'll play test it and figure it out. Yeah, so then if you're expected to collect 20, how many dungeon pieces do we want you to move through before you beat the game? And yeah, maybe like 20 of them, in which case you'd collect on average 300 coins. So we probably set the maximum to 500. Okay, those are some good starting values. Determine the drop rate of the rare coin. Oh, I was thinking we would just put it directly into the dungeon piece. So here, for example, imagine we had, I don't have an enemy, so I'm just going to put in like the farming player. So imagine this is an enemy, and then imagine we have some coins like here and here. Or maybe the enemies are guarding one of the coins or something like that. So it's like this could be the rare coin, and you could just path around them, or you could fight them. Actually, enemies should probably drop coins, huh? Maybe you get coins for killing enemies. Because otherwise, why would you want to even kill enemies? You would just run from them all. Yeah, we probably should give you coins for killing enemies. Add enemies in. They should pathfind around stuff. Or at least some of them should. They should be able to move between dungeon pieces. If enemies are on falling tiles, they simply fade away. We have a dying animation. We just don't have a falling animation. Simply shrink and fade away. Yeah, that'd probably be good. All right. Yeah, let's go kick this off. So where are the coins on just their own graphic? They're in here somewhere. There they are. So set 2.2. These are the outline. Oh, that's the difference. They're outlined and non-outlined. I can't tell in here because I'm too zoomed out. But yeah, you can kind of see there's a white outline around this, but not around this. It's just hard to tell with a checkerboard background. So what should we use? Which one looks better? Where do they have coins in here? They don't use the outlined version. It's just got a black outline. Yeah, that's what we want. I think that's good. Hey, Campbell Soup. All right, I like it. So let's go start a new one of these. And add this in, set 2.2. I would love to kick this off before I take my break, but it might be pretty hard to do that. So we might just have to take it slow and steady today. So now I have these graphics open. What is this? This is when you collect the coin? Did they ever show that happening in their graphics? No. Why do these exist for all of them? They're the same graphics, right? Yeah, I think this is when you collected it. All right, so let's kick this off. So I added set 2.2. We'll do this in a new work tree. We'll branch this off a Dungeon Racer. Oh, local changes. What local changes? Did I save this? Whoops. Okay. Smurf, thanks for the resub. Happy 3 1/3 years. Still find it crazy that people can be sub for 40 months here. Really appreciate it. All right, so I added set 2.2, which has a bunch of coin graphics. So each one of these is 16 by 16, I'm guessing. Yes. Each sprite is 16 by 16. Let me snooze the ad. I do want to kick this off. And each row represents a different color coin, either with or without an outline. The order of the colors is bronze, silver, gold. Also, let's say yellow. Yellow, blue, green, red. The first row for any color is not outlined. But the second is outlined. All right, so manifest a coin.tscn. for the Dungeon Racer subgame that can have one of those colors. This color should be selectable directly through the Godot editor. Oh yeah, and then the final, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the collection frames. The final 5 frames in all rows are exactly the same and represent the animation to play when the coin is collected. Which means we should... Wait, why are there 2 frames of the same? Are these exactly the same? Yes. Why is that? Does that come through in the pictures that they like stay there for a second? Oh, there are multiple duplicated frames to make it look like they're not rotating evenly? Yes, that's why. So facing like exactly 90 degrees and then facing the camera have duplicated frames. Interesting. Okay. That's fine. And then do we want to randomize their rotation a little bit? Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Make it so that the coins have a collision area. When the player enters that area, they collect the coin. Coin values are based on the color. Green is 1, blue is 3, red is 5, and yellow is 10. Don't use bronze or silver. I just don't think there's a reason for that. All right. Offset the animation time by the Y coordinate of the coin. That way, all coins at the same Y coordinate are synchronized. But the entire scene won't look as static. All right, so anything else we got to do here? Each row represents a different color coin, either with or without an outline. Order their colors is this. Final 5 frames in all rows are exactly the same, represent the animation of play when the coin is collected. Manifest a coin. Keep track of the total number of coins the player has collected. And then this, right? Base the player's speed on the total number of coins they have. Nope, this whole thing's getting tabbed in. Oh, come on. There is nothing to hit you in the game yet. Let's add a function that we can eventually use for this. Okay. And yeah, I will manually add coins to the dungeon pieces after this is done. Okay, so we are in a new work tree. We're branching off the right thing. We set this to plan mode. Is there anything I'm missing here? And do you start at 80 pixels per second? Yes, perfect. Okay, looks good. Great, great, great. All right, let's kick this off, and I'm gonna go take my break. Is it jump time? The computer does not think it is. Is it jump time? It's jump time. hello. Hey, ABC. Close the game. All right, so let's see. Did it? Oh, no. No. It didn't do anything. What happened? Cannot apply binary patch without full index line? I don't know what that even means. How could you, AI? Sorrow. Check out the branch from which you want to create the patch. Run this command. Maybe I should just check this in first. Yeah, I should just check this in. Then it's probably gonna be fine. Add coin graphics. Nothing uses these yet. I just want AI to be able to create a work tree. Oh, whoops. When I say this, it tries running that command in my stream. So if I say check out the today command, it's going to hopefully run that automatically. Is it? It's being a fool out of me. Oh, wait, no, there it goes. It just delayed that time. So I guess we just had to hit retry, and now it should work. Yeah, there we go. Well, whatever. So make some dungeon pieces so that we can test this out. All right, so AI is adding coins. Now, while it's adding coins, we can go do something else. It's like I'm unemployed. They really haven't amended all these issues yet. You're still just sitting around getting paid to do nothing, to watch my stream. All right, so what should we do next? Make the bombing room. I kind of like the idea of making a little bit more of a Zelda dungeon here. In fact, yeah, I do think there should probably be 3 rooms. So maybe we have it add in enemies next. Where are the enemies? Slimes pack. What was this convoluted puzzle I had? There are colorful banners in the room. There are colorful slimes in the room. There are some unlit torches. Killing a slime lights the next torch in the sequence. You know, I kind of like the idea of the first room just being a blank room pretty much. Or maybe like there's an enemy. But yeah, I think we should have a bunch of different ones. So room 1 should really just be like starter room, not much danger, maybe an enemy or 2, no puzzles, staircase to the next floor. Room 2 is this, room 3, and yeah, I'd like there to be a 4th room as well. So actually, technically, this is room 4. Need to figure this out. There are no branching paths, though. That's maybe part of the problem. Maybe that's okay. Case surveys just haven't been assigned. Oh, man. Okay. Wow. Yeah, hey, Scholar. Good morning. So yeah, I think adding enemies would be the next best bet. So we add in a slime and we probably tell it to path between 2 positions. Now these do have hurt animations and then a death animation, which we can reverse for a spawning animation, as someone had said yesterday. I want to say their name was Freya, but I don't remember. So yeah, maybe we go trigger this. In which case I gotta go add all the graphics. Which slimes did we say we wanted? We want the red, blue, and green. We have those, right? Blue we have. Green we definitely have. Red is probably blood slime. Yeah. All right, so we have them. Let's copy these. Wait, there's also lava slime. Is that better? Or is there blood slime better? I like the blood one better. Okay. Copy these over to here. put this as characters. It's not really a character. Where are we putting monsters? In characters? Top-down monsters. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's put it in here, I guess. Monsters. All right, so we got 3 slimes. I want their file names now. And the last one is green slime. And I got to go check these in. Add slime graphics. Nothing uses these, but AI is about to. Wink. All right, how should movement speed behave between the 4 coin checkpoints? Interpolate linearly, step thresholds. Yeah, let's just do this for now. How should the outlined and unoutlined rows be exposed in the reusable coin scene? Use unoutlined only for each supported color. Yeah. When should the 100 coins starting balance reset? New Dungeon Racer instance is created. Keep it through room changes and the normal to endless fall, but reset it back to 100 every time you fall between endless dungeons, which is probably what it was trying to say with number 1, but it's not totally clear to me. Okay, so new query over here. New work tree, branch off a Dungeon Racer. And yeah, I guess plan this at first. Okay, so add in slime enemies. Their graphics should use blood for red, blue slime for blue, and green slime for green. Hey Kyle, how you doing? All right, slimes should move back and forth in a line between 2 points with no pathfinding needed. These points should be settable through... Actually, should we do it that way? Settable through the editor? Yeah. Dungeon Racer subgame. I love being locked into it. What's bothering you this time around? What is this tool you're using? This is Codex. This is for AI. I've been making very fast progress thanks to using AI. Like, we started this game on Monday morning. And I mean, we don't have a lot yet. We got like basic movement. You can walk or you could run. We have some sword attacks. We don't actually do anything yet. You can move between these rooms. We have the concept of a falling floor. And when you fall, it enters you into endless mode. Where now, if I speed this up, you just can keep going forever and ever. And we're about to add some more mechanics in. We have this cool standby graphic where she takes her hood off. So yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good. All right, so the first one is waiting for me. Yeah, we have a plan here. Let's go look at the plan and then kick this off. It's unbelievably hot over here. Got me looking at this ice thing with a fan just to save on overusing the air conditioning. Yeah, today's supposed to get pretty hot over here. And it was moderately warm yesterday. I think the high is 84 here today. Which, I mean, that's not like heat wave level hot, but it's still kind of uncomfortable. And thanks, Kyle. Yeah. Build issues, setting up my Mac for iOS builds now, and it gives the most vague errors possible. Oh, man. That sucks, yeah. I'm dying at the moment, need more wind. Have you thought of playing a shaman? On the 4th floor with windows on both sides? But there's the windows are pointless if nothing's actually coming through. Have you installed fans in both of them? Because there's some YouTube video where they talked about the optimal fan positioning if you're in this situation, and it's not what you might expect. I don't remember what it actually is. It's like one of the fans should be pointing into the room, but it should be like halfway in the room, I think. I'm not sure. Low mid 90s, yeah. That's rough. It's really rough. Just gonna keep getting worse. All right, let's look at this plan. Add a reusable editor configurable coin using unoutlined yellow, blue, red, green. Yep. Coins update a runtime player balance, play the collection effect, and drive a piecewise linear movement speed curve. Yeah. Use a tool animated sprite 2D root, so exported previews in the editor. Expose only green, blue, red, yellow. Build 4 8 FPS idle loops. Build one non-looping. Yep, this is great. Sounds great. On first contact, immediately award the color's value. Disable for the collection. Play the collection animation. Free the coin. Sounds good. Synchronize idle animation phase using shared engine clock. Yeah, sounds good. Apply both frame and fractional frame progress. What is this? Adjacent 16 pixel rows begin. Oh, I see. Sure, that's fine. Update this with coin count, collect coin, piecewise linear speed interpolation. Cutoff remains at 40. Okay, that's not. Well, maybe that's fine. Yeah, maybe that's fine. So you just look like you're walking at some point. Yeah, that's probably okay. Try, take, hit, reset coin count, update Dungeon Racer to distinguish the first from later ones. Wait, yes, that's correct. Yeah. Wait, do you even get coins? No, hold on a second. Maybe coins don't even exist until you fall? Would it be obvious they're moving faster? Maybe you see coins, but you don't know what they do? Yeah, anyway, that's fine. Do not add coins to any room or dungeon piece scenes, and do not store the balance and save system. Sure, doesn't really matter. Public interfaces, coin color, coin.color, coin count, collect coin, try to hit. Yep, this all sounds great. Good job. Hey, Mr. Who Cares? Yeah, the boxes in the window are the air conditioning units usually, but the fans you put like directly in your place. And if you do put them in a window, you got them on like your side of the window. We'll get max value. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah. Glad to hear it. You don't have a hydrate redeem? Sad. I always thought they were kind of silly. Like, I should just be hydrating anyway. And if I need other people to tell me, then there's a problem. Trying to get to the next level with my Godot game, and I'm having such a hard time trying to figure out how to structure it. I want to create a menu scene first, then game with UI and overlays. I'm not sure where to place my entities. What's the entrance to all this? Main, then menu, game, repeat. Yeah, so I'll show you what we do for this game. I like to have a main scene. And in here we have a sub-game node because we keep swapping out different games. But yeah, we start with a title screen, and that actually does go into sub-game node. So main is the owner of the scene transitions, basically. And then, yeah, we'll have something like a title screen. And this doesn't have any clue about what's going on outside of it. So main will instantiate one of these, and then when you quit or when you start a game, main will handle what to do there. Yeah. All right, so I have not finished writing out this. Does it have state for scene management then? So yeah, it does. Well, actually, it's technically in a different area. We have a sub-game host. This thing has the state for managing all this stuff. So depending on what game you're in, we switch to the appropriate scene. And when you finish a game, we go to the next place. So yeah, basic finite state machine, and you get transitions from the individual elements that you're instantiating. So like a title screen might have a signal that you send up. Godot has, if you're using GGScript, it's got built-in signals. So Godot GGScript signal. But if you're using C#, you can just use C# events. Where's their example over here? Yeah, so something like this. They have a function that you'll call, and then you can connect it to the pressed event, And they show how that's done where exactly? Oh, they connect it through the editor. Yeah, never mind. I connect them usually through code. So here's how you do it through code. You just have a signal, so timer.timeout in this case, and call connect. And when this happens, it'll call your on timer timeout function. So very straightforward syntax for this. So yeah, you'll probably have something like that from, let's say, your title screen. So in the title screen that we have a started game event. So title screen has no awareness of what has instantiated it. All it knows is that at some point you click the start button and we emit this event. And thanks to the listener pattern, some other thing is going to listen for this. And sure enough, it's probably main. I don't actually know. Yeah, start a game. Here it is. So we create a title screen and we listen for its event here. And then when you trigger that event, we switch scenes. Yeah. Zero UI in main. Let scenes have all of them. And yeah, use signals. Well, zero UI, we have some UI in here. There's a canvas layer with like the pause menu. The pause menu is common throughout the entire game. So like we might as well just instantiate it here. But we could have put all of this into a UI scene. So a nice thing about this in Godot is like, let's say you made this whole thing and I want to just right click this. There is save branches scene. If I were to do this right now, which I don't want to for this game, but if I were to, then this would all get collapsed into one node and we'd call it UI or something. And you could do the same thing over here, right click this, save branch and call it systems. And then we just have 3 nodes in the scene and look pretty clean. All right, so I have not finished this and I'm kind of taking my sweet time here. Add in slime enemies, their graphics should use this. Yeah, so we got to describe what the graphics contain. I never loaded them up, did I? No, I did not. And how big are they? Are they 48 by 48? Looks like they are. If I drag a, oh my God, this is difficult. Yeah, they're 48 by 48. Okay, so each frame of the slime's animations is 48 by 48. The first row of slime animations is the idle / movement animation. The second row is the hurt animation. And the third row is the death animation, which can be played backwards on spawn. The final 3 frames, though, are blank. However, the final 3 frames are all blank. So after the death animation is finished, the slime should fade out. Add a collision area to the slimes. When the player enters this collision area, they should take damage. For now, there's no life there's no life value. So just print player would have taken damage and play the hurt animation on the player. We have the hurt animation. You are vibe coder. I mean, I use AI. I wouldn't really call it vibe coding, but I guess it depends on how you define it. But welcome in, Barley. All right, so we have the hurt animation here. I think this is like, yeah, this is something we should make interruptible. The hurt animation should be interruptible. Should you be locked into it for just a second, maybe? Maybe it should knock you back. Yeah, I think it should knock you back. This should also knock the player backward from in a direction Yeah. While the player's hurt animation is playing, it should be uninterruptible by input. Yeah, I know how to code. I have a computer science degree, and I've been coding on Twitch for the last like 11 years. So even before AI. That's why I say like it all depends on how you define vibe coding. Like, yes, I'm just prompting an AI right now, but like I'll review the code afterward. I'll make changes if I need to. It's just way faster to do things this way. First row of slime animation is idle movement. Second row is hurt. Third row is the death animation. Add collision area to the slimes. And when the player hits the slime with their sword, the slime should take damage. Slimes have... Let's say slimes can take... How many hits do they take before dying? Like 2 hits will kill them or 3 hits will kill them? Maybe 2 hits. Slimes require 2 hits before they die. When they die, they play their death animation and can no longer hurt the player. A Kowamid is unfortunate timing or just a new way of working? It's a new way of working, yeah. I mean, I think if I like was primarily coding by hand and I use an agent every like 100 days and you showed up on one of those 100 days or one of those days that I was using it, you'd be like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. All right, so is there anything else we need to do when it comes to slimes? A slime being attacked doesn't change its locomotion. Yeah. All right, so is there anything else when it comes to slimes that we need to still do? They move from point to point. When you hit them, they play their own hurt animation. Did I write that down? Yeah, and creating a slime should play its death animation backward without starting on the blank. There should be no blank frames. The slime should fade in while this is happening. Done, done, done. All right, anything else? So we got movement, we got hurting the player, we got attacking, dying, customizing them. Customizing what I need. I should be able to set which color slime is used directly in the editor. They only vary in which sprite is used, not in stats. All right, I think we are good. We need to branch this off of Dungeon Racer, of course. And yeah, let's go try that. Cool. Take care, Kevin. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing off your incredible wealth and getting everybody to hydrate. You might have saved someone's life today. I absolutely have to figure out why this is happening. I am so sick of this. AI is adding coins and AI is adding slimes. Figure out why this is happening. Because I didn't create whatever I did with AI. How is it for you? I mean, I think there are different levels of creation. So as an example, let's say you come up with an idea and have a team of devs make it. Did you make that thing now? Like, in some sense you did. It was your idea and then you saw it through to execution. You probably delegated to those devs. Yeah, but in another sense you didn't because you weren't the one writing the code. And it always reminds me of this Carl Sagan quote. In order to bake an apple pie from scratch, you must first create the universe. Like, even if you grew all of the ingredients yourself and you had an apple orchard and you plucked an apple from it, it's like you didn't make the soil that grew the apple tree, right? You didn't create water. I don't know. I think of it as like I'm making this game, even though AI is the thing coding it. And I think of it in terms of like, in this sense, AI is a tool for creation, just like how your computer is a tool for creation, and just like how your IDE might have auto completed code even 15 years ago, right? Like, did you write out every character of code at any point in your life? Probably not. Or maybe at some point in your life a long time ago. But like, ever since you could write something like int, money v, and it would type out like money value or something like that. It's like, okay, well, now you haven't written every single character of your code anymore. But it's like most people would just completely discard that. I get that AI is doing much more heavy lifting than this sort of thing, but yeah, I still feel like I'm creating something. Hey, Grogry. I think the other thing to consider is like, okay, if I wasn't here, would this product still get created? And like the answer is no. No one else would probably have had this on their radar. They wouldn't make it the same way I would make it. AI won't do this on its own. All right, nice. How are we doing on quota? Because I'm kind of intentionally trying to use as much quota as possible. Yeah, and even then, we're at 58%. The reason why I'm trying to use as much quota as possible is because I have a reset expiring on the 17th. So we have 2 days to use that. And then if well, it doesn't make sense not to use it. It costs us literally nothing and it's going to expire anyway. So then our quota will go back up to 100% and the week will still end on July 21st. It actually reset yesterday when I was also trying to use it a ton and got down to 30%. So it gave me 70% back for free. Random your test is level-headed rational thinkers. I mean, I think it's self-selecting. If you hate AI and you see me using AI, you're probably not going to stick around the stream to tell me how much you hate me using AI, right? So like there's a selection bias here. The people who remain are going to be people who are fine with this or just want to hear a voice in the background anyway. The other thing too is I really do think this is the way forward for a lot of people, a lot of companies. It might not be 100% AI usage. It might not be AI owned code bases, but like AI is a pretty good tool. And I'm pretty much positive there's some use case where if someone's okay with it, it will benefit them somehow. Now, if you're not okay with it, it's like some people aren't okay eating meat. It might be the fastest way to get protein for you, for example, but if you're not okay with it, then fine. But what I'm trying to get at is like, whether it's research or filtering information or coding or something, there's like some way the AI is going to improve your life. And it's probably going to be almost inarguably better than what you were doing before. So like even my internet searching now has changed. I'll use AI a lot of the time because I'll be like, I know this exists, but I can't find it. In fact, the other day I was looking for a YouTube video on a blog post, or like not a blog post, on a site. I knew it was there somewhere on the site. I couldn't find it and I didn't know what to search for. And it wasn't on the page I was on at the moment. So I asked AI to do it. I'm like, hey, can you find this YouTube video? And yep, sure enough, it found it. And then I could watch the video. And like, I couldn't find it in my history. I couldn't find it on the site. I don't know where it even was on that site. All I know is AI returned it for me. And yeah, that would have probably taken me a lot of searching. Maybe I would have given up. I wouldn't have found it. I wouldn't have watched that video again. Yeah. I understood it all. And oh boy. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty massive undertaking. Yeah. You end up playing around with AI. I remember you said you don't like using it for code. You use the autocomplete. Yeah, so that was my Skeleseller philosophy. Is it was just like autocomplete. I used agents maybe like 3 times. Unless you count the translations, then I guess it would be like 8 times or something like that. And even then, we still had humans look over everything. So Skeleseller was like incredibly largely human written. Even counting autocomplete, it's like you have to write enough lines for autocomplete to even know what you're doing. But yeah, the new philosophy is use AI whenever it makes sense. And if that's all the time, then it's all the time, but it doesn't tend to be all the time. There is one, there's a caveat here. Caveat is not for creative stuff yet. So like game design, I'm still brainstorming on my own. I'm not asking AI, like, what do you think about this? How would I improve this? I'm not using it for art. I'm not using it for music. I'm not using it for sounds. So it's just code stuff. So use it wherever makes sense for code. Am I reviewing every line of code? Not as closely as if a human had written it or if I had written it. It's mostly like, does this work the way I expect in general? And there are a couple of reasons for that. One is I don't want to prematurely optimize. Even if I were writing my own code, it's like I might use link expressions early on and then later on in the project go through and be like, all right, where am I allocating? Where's the garbage collector running? And some other ones are like, the other day I had to do this. The other day was yesterday. I had to do this where in the cheats menu, this is now glowing blue because this is the most common cheat that I use. I don't care what the code for this looks like. This is a dev facing feature. It's glowing blue. I can notice it. So it doesn't really matter what it's doing. I looked at which files it edited. And I mean, I actually did look over it a little bit, but like, it doesn't really matter if this was the most intense, like this is grinding my CPU to a halt. Because like I said, it's just for developers. Like players will never see it. And if it works, it works. So yeah, there's some code where it just doesn't really matter what the quality is. Cheats are a great example. Tooling is another good example. It's like, we have not the greatest tool here, but if I run, I don't remember how I run this. Here we go. Yeah, if I run this is the sprite colorization tool that we have. It's pretty ugly. Like the UI isn't great, but it does what it needs to do. We can see a sprite and we can go change some colors in here and see it make those changes immediately. So like, yeah, is the UI all that great? No, not really. Is the code great? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It does exactly what we need. You know who Quinn69 is? I only know of them. I don't think I've watched them. And yeah, apparently he spent like thousands of dollars on making a game. AI is the same as professional developer with browser. You cannot say it's not. I wouldn't say it's the same. I think real intelligence allows you to reason about why am I doing this thing? What's the like greater picture? And also the more human side of things. Like I was saying this the other day, almost every game has the same question of, is it fun? Right? You're playing a horror game. Fun might be, are you getting scared? But like, you're still, is it fun? Is it entertaining you? That sort of thing. I don't think you can use AI to gauge, is a game fun? Like, you're still going to need a human to play it and just be like, yep, this is fun. This is great. So in those senses, it's like, you're still designing things for humans most of the time. You still need a human in the loop at some point. Hey, Ziga. It's that kind of lack of care that will allow AI to control us all. Yeah. All right, so add Dungeon Racer coins. This added them all. And what do we have over here? This is still on the plan. So let's go try this out. Where is this? Get status. All right, git add. Actually, we got to go up 3 directories. Great. Git commit -am doesn't matter. Yeah, the reason this doesn't matter is because this is on some work tree, and now we're going to cherry pick it over to here so that I can go take a look at it. So now we should have the new scenes. Well, scene. And I should be able to go add it. Why did translations get modified? That part doesn't make sense. Wait, it didn't get modified. This is the same commit. Why is this here? Strange. Okay, well, anyway, if I go into Dungeon Piece 1, I can go instantiate a coin in now. Very cool. And I can set this to blue, let's say. And I don't know, let's go instantiate another coin in here. And set that there. This is so cool. Let's just start with that. No, let's add in one more. Let's add a red coin. Put that there. Actually, we should have some that are on the same coordinate. So I just want to drag this one to the side. There. Or same y coordinate I meant. All right, so now we save that and we run this. Hey, Amy. So the only way to get there is to fall here. And then we should see coins. Can we collect them? Yes, we can. And they should be increasing my speed, but it's probably pretty hard to tell. So if I just collect the red ones, those should be the biggest increase in speed. I can't tell. It's probably happening. I should probably just time how long does it take to walk across that room. Alternatively, we could just speed this up by a lot and just go collect a bunch of those red coins. And then we'll notice when we fall. Yeah, I think we're going faster because it's getting like a little bit sickening right now. Yeah, we must be moving faster, right? Or well, anyway, let's do this. So we're moving at this speed. And now if we fall, we should see that we got a lot slower. Yeah, we're slower. All right, very cool. Yeah, we need a speedometer. Actually, it would be kind of funny to have a literal speedometer and not just a coin counter. I think it would be kind of cool. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about when I said AI drastically speeds things up. Like from a player perspective, you can see this is working exactly how you want. We have the animations in here. We're able to collect these, and presumably it's changing the speed of the player, but that's kind of hard to tell. And that's what I needed. And what did I have to do? Write a prompt. So yeah, pretty cool. Now let's go look at the code. So I'm just going to revert this because I don't know what this is doing here. We didn't even change any translations. In fact, we can't revert it. I just click the refresh button here. What is going on with this? This doesn't make sense. I don't know why Rider would even show this here, though. Well, let's just not check it in. All right, so animation frames per second, collection frame count, and this is a tool script, yep. Collection star column. Yeah, this is great. Collection animation, string name here, new, collected, that's fine. Coin sprite frames. It's static, so we only use one. That's perfect. We probably have a static constructor here that's going to set this up. Well, it's not a static constructor, but I think this is okay. It just caches this here. Otherwise, it creates a new one. All right, let's see what else we have. Collection area, color, play synchronized idle animation. It's called an idle animation, but it's coin. It doesn't really have the concept of being idle. I don't want to be very nitpicky about it, though. If it's not an editor hint, add body entered. Sounds good. Is ready is true. So this is probably something due to having a tool script on this that we need. So we wait until it's added to the scene tree. I'm not certain this is needed, but it's also just a single Boolean. So it already has a default, remove it. That is funny because I don't think there's really any downside to having this. It's like a very micro optimization for memory by costing us 2 native calls here, but I think it's fine. And there will be game loading things anyway. Loading screens, I mean. Being scenes while there's a secondary sidebar for the scripts. Keep going between tabs and nothing happens. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just use an external editor. So I use Rider for this. If you go to project settings, or no, not there. If you go to editor settings, which is here, and in editor, there should be I don't know where it is. Yeah, there's some like use external editor. Text editor, here it is. All right, so somewhere in this, I think you can set what program. Yeah, use external editor. So that way you could have it use VS Code, for example, and just do all your editing through there. If you're using GDScript though, I think doing it right through Godot is probably the best way to do it. All right, let's keep looking through the rest of this. So now we add idle animations. We specify which rows, add collection animation. Yep, this is all good. Adding this is just adding the animation with a loop mode and the speed. Totally fine. Collection animation, it starts later on in the sprite sheet. And we always add it with row 4. This is not very clear why this is done here. But yeah, I'll do this. Constant row equals 4. All coins actually have the same collection animation. So we can just pick any of them. There. Create frame texture. What is this being used by? This add frame, just get the Alice texture for that. This is probably fine. I'm not actually certain how this works in the context of, like if I go to the bomb, what happened? If I go to the bomb scene, yeah, they're all Atlas textures. Okay, seems pretty good. Play synchronized idle animation, elapsed frames. Yeah, so this is fine. I want to say what this is doing. Coins at the same Y coordinate will be synchronized in animations. This is just to make the scenes look less static. Steven. I'm doing well, and I hope you're well too. Just to be clear, the segmenting thing isn't supposed to be like if you ask how are you, that's a totally fine standalone message. It's more for when people are like, oh, I bought a new game. It was Pokemon. I didn't like it. It's like these can be one message because there's no response needed and they're all related topics. You're not responding to somebody else. Regardless, hi. Yeah, things have been going pretty well. I kind of like this flow that I settled into, and maybe I won't after a while, but Tuesday is now Sucky Tasks Day. If I don't do this on Tuesdays, I'm going to have to do it eventually. And doing too many of these in a row, I mean, by its very name, it would be just so frustrating. So then Wednesday should really be like Fun Tasks Day, and Thursday is going to be Music Day. And then Monday and Friday are just kind of wild cards. But yeah. So we're working on the stuff that I want to work on now. And it's cool. I'm seeing this game come together. Like we're going to have coins. We're going to have enemies. We're going to have the general endless flow for this. It's been a pretty good day so far. All right, get animation name. This I don't like because we're returning string names. Yeah, so that we got to change. But everything else looks pretty good. So I will have it modified that. Oh, except for I want to do it on the local. Yeah, I'll just go do it myself. It's not like it's hard to do. I just don't feel like doing it. Yeah, it's very simple, in fact. Private static string name animation equals this. No, I don't have a capitalized, do I? Toggle case. There we go. All right, now we use these down here. There. Rest of this is looking good. All right, then we have a UID, all right, yeah, UID file. This is something we don't need to look at. The coin, I never like looking at it like that. Let's look at it directly in here. It's got a collection area and a shape. Yeah, that's fine. The collection area is pretty good too. I think that's okay. Looks good. Whoop. Okay, that's not good. The tool script that's on here caused it to add in all of the sprite frames. I actually don't want to save that. Can I just delete that? It's going to get recreated eventually anyway. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess there's really no reason to do it through code. All right, well, let's just copy this over again. Coin.cs? No, coin.tscn. Yeah, I want this in here without the line numbers. There. Maybe we should write that down. Clean up. Coin.tscn causes it to spew all of the animation data. This will eventually happen when we run the UID tool. So we should probably just statically create them in the scene file directly rather than have a script set it up. These are the original contents. Original contents below. Hey, Maxwell. I'm a fake fan. Humans value creating and watching other humans create? Pretty much yes. The value isn't going to go away. I feel like these are two sort of orthogonal points. I think like the advent of a real artificial general intelligence would have like crippling effects on humanity. That's my take. Would people still want to see other humans create? Yes, but there'd be like irreparable damage to humanity as a whole if we truly had AGI. Yeah. So it's like you might want to interact with other humans, but imagine a world where, I don't know, like you had no way of making money or getting resources, because that's kind of what I see would happen. So yeah, I think the watching humans create, valuing what they create, I think even this will change a little bit. I think some people just want a certain product and they don't care how that product came to be or who was exploited to make that product. And I think you see this in enough other realms without AI being considered at all. Like, think about how price comes into play when buying something. A lot of people will get something that is not as good for the environment because it's cheaper. And maybe they say like, well, I don't care about the environment or something. I think it's going to be kind of the same with AI created normally human endeavors. There's a game, it's fun. Who cares if it was made by AI? Some people are just going to be like, well, it's fun. It lights up all the happy paths in my brain. So I'll go play it. But yeah, in general, I think there will still be some demand for human created things. And I think there's going to be like a holdout generation almost where they might be anti-AI. But I don't know how long that'll be the case for. The other thing too, and this is what I've been talking about with some friends, is I think the creation of AI games will devalue the market. It's like, if you think about it, an indie game now costs what, like $5 to $15 maybe. But yeah, imagine if there's a flood of good games. You wouldn't probably even pay $5 or $10 or $15. You might pay like $3 to $12 maybe. And yeah, it's going to shift what people are willing to pay. And at some point, imagine a world where that range gets to like $1 to $5. Will you set out on a multi-year endeavor to potentially make like $3 on average per sale? And maybe you will, maybe you have a great idea or something, but like the volume you need to make up for this to give you minimum wage would be kind of crazy. So you'll have fewer people who are making games like the old way. Maybe they make games with AI because they can pump them out faster and take less of a risk on it. Yeah, this is kind of where I see things heading. People seem to really hate it on Steam. Makes you think they really try either. Well, we just looked at Timber Rush. So this game has AI artwork from what I understand. I haven't played the game, so I don't know myself. Maybe you can see a little bit of it in the trailer or something. I haven't even watched the trailer. But Cakes was talking about this, and like, look, 1,280 reviews, very positive. There are a lot of reviews complaining about AI and the lack of disclosure. But hey, 1,300 sales at $5, or sorry, not 1,300 sales, 1,300 times probably about like 40 times $5. Like, they probably made, yeah, maybe like 200K to 300K. So I don't know how fast they made this game, but this is not showing that the community at large will not buy this game. It's showing that some people dislike it. If a new AI console comes out one day and you just speak to it, I want an FPS game. Yeah, I think something like that could eventually happen. Or maybe there's some like base game. Imagine something like Fortnite. Fortnite was largely made by humans, and from what I understand now, it's more like a platform than a single game. But yeah, imagine if you said like, hey, in Roblox, make me X, and it, yeah, you've got your game. I could see that being a thing. And yeah, I think that would also go to devalue games. It's like, do I care that much about another human creating a game? They haven't made the exact game I want. I always wanted to play Oblivion, but with, you know, Link from Legend of Zelda, and you are actually shooting guns the whole time. It's like, oh, okay. What if that just gets created for you in the next hour? And you're like, wow, that's actually really fun. Now let's build on it. And you feel like you're a game developer. Ask for a type of show that makes a show. Yeah, there was that Never Stop Watching. Is that what it was called? What was that thing called? The Seinfeld? Nothing Forever. I thought, oh, Watch Me Forever? Is that what it's called originally? I thought it was renamed from something else. Anyway, whatever. This was an AI created Seinfeld show, basically. They had different camera angles and they had different characters, and yeah, I mean, this was a spectacle. There were a lot of people watching for probably just that reason. But yeah, imagine if it was even like decent quality. Watch Me Forever. What did I type originally? Yeah, anyway. Also, it can't be yet. Yeah. All right. Well, an ad's gonna start soon. I think we reviewed all of this now. No, I did not look at the speed changes. All right, let's look at the speed changes. I need to add UI for the coin count too. So only thing left to do is to review Dungeon Racer player. And then is this thing waiting on me? I think it is, right? Yeah, it's got a plan. Okay, so let's read through the plan and then let's go take the break. Create a reusable slime scene and script with editor selectable color and patrol endpoints. Spawn by reversing the death animation while fading in. Patrol continuously. Take 2 sword hits. Damage knock back the player. Become harmless before dying and fading away. Yep. Cache sprite frames from the selected whatever. Yep. Looks good. Expose slime color. Spawn with collision disabled. Play death backward. Give the slime in area 2D. Connect the swords area entered. Initial placement, really? Okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, let's implement this. Codex Micro? A light up keyboard? What is this? What? This is wild. This is... Wow. Yeah, this is wild. $230? And what is this thing? Is this magnetic? Handy split apart design lets you form a sandwich with the keyboard parts as the bread. Yeah, this is wild. If this weren't $230, just buying this to not use with AI would be pretty good. Actually, having an encoder knob, a bunch of buttons, and well, I don't know what that is. Maybe another encoder. But like the form factor is cool, and I've seen a bunch of these things. But it sounds like you're supposed to use it with the AI agents, in which case they'd have a bunch of like command specifically set up for that. I guess they can't really subsidize it too much. It's not like they're, well, I don't know, maybe. I'm only just reading about it quickly. Look how to place on a physical keyboard. Well, there are a lot of like macro pads that people make. And I gotta say, like, the concept of a macro pad is pretty cool. I like this, especially something tailored to your design flow. So for example, DaVinci Resolve has some keyboard that you can get. Maybe it's this. No, this one. Here we go. Yeah. And like, well, it's only got one of these dials, but this is really good for video editing. And they have like 3D mice that exist. There was one that had, I thought, like 3 dials or something. Anyway, like I said, concept of a macro pad is a solid idea. I don't have one because my keyboard's essentially already the macro pad, but like I really want an encoder knob for volume and stuff. All right, I said I was going to take a break, so let's go actually take the break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. All right, hello, hello. Close the game. Hey, Nat. All right, so let's go back and take a look at the rest of this. It was just this Dungeon Racer player. So let's see what we got. There's not too much to look at here. In fact, you know what? I should do this and save this file. All right, so coin count. Collect coin. We set the coin count. There's a maximum count of what? 500? Yep. Try take hit we don't actually need yet. Reset. So what determines your speed is done every single time, I guess. Get movement pixels per second. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Wow, that was easy. All right. Yeah, easy peasy. Okay, let's go check all that in. So add coins. Excuse me. Add coins. What do we do? There aren't, well, I haven't instantiated any into the dungeon yet, but they can be instantiated and they control the player's speed. The more you get, they increase player speed as you get more. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, easy. And now it's adding slimes. So we should add in some other enemies, but I think what we need to do is build out the Zelda part of this more than the endless dungeon runner part of this at first. So I would need to make the puzzle logic. Yeah, I think the goal for today is going to be build out the Zelda part of this game. And then maybe the goal on Friday, build out the endless part of the dungeon runner, since we should hopefully have most of the Zelda part. All right, so how do we go about doing this? We had an idea here where there'd be banners and torches, and killing the slimes lights the torches and slimes respawn and stuff. We have pretty much all the building blocks of this. How do we lock the player out of going to a particular location? I guess we use one of those sliding walls. Yeah, this right here. Or even this wall. I guess it doesn't really matter. Just there needs to be something that blocks the staircase. So yeah, let's take a picture of this. Well, we can't really take a picture of this, I guess, but whatever. See this page. So if you light the torches in the wrong order, you have to match the torches to the banner colors. Yeah, once you do this, the wall slides into the floor and lets you access the staircase. Like in this picture, or like in the picture here. Okay, how do we want to set this up then? I mean, we need to wait for this thing to finish. So the first room is just going to be you take the staircase to the next floor. Should there even be a slime in there? Does it make sense? You can't die. And the slimes would make you move slower and slower. Oh, that's probably not a good idea, huh? Yeah, it's probably a really bad idea. I never thought about this, but I think we have a problem. So, like, you can take damage. Before the game has become an endless runner. If you do, you'll move more slowly. But, like, you don't have infinite coins to make up for this. Maybe the coins should fall out of you so that you can collect them again. Hey, Moon. Ladders are a nightmare? You mean in games? Because, yeah, I think they're probably pretty annoying most of the time. If you mean in real life, then I'd say if you have a fear of heights, they're probably a nightmare. Otherwise, they're pretty good. But yeah, in games, they're annoying. Yeah, so we could just make them not make you move more slowly. Maybe, well, yeah, there are a lot of different solutions. So option one, we get rid of coins during the Zelda part and just have hearts or something. I don't like this because it'll be inconsistent. Yeah, in real life they're fine. But if you're programming from a ladder, that's not fine. All right, have coins fall out of you so that you need to recollect them. I don't like this option. Option 3, what else can we do here? Don't have coins affect your speed in the Zelda part, but they still exist. Option 4, just do nothing. You'll just move slower if you get hit. Or like option 4A is add some more coins into the... Oh, wait a second. But can't you just keep killing slimes? Yeah, or option 4B is like make sure you go back to 100 coins or like before the next floor. Maybe we spawn pity coins for you. That could work. Like imagine that you've got... Where'd that picture go? Yeah, imagine you got this. So the wall goes into the floor and you can now go into the staircase. If we notice that you're at fewer than 100 coins, we could spawn the most valuable coin right here. And then you're forced to go get it before you go to the next floor. I like that idea quite a lot. Yeah, I like that idea quite a lot. Or we spawn them regardless. Like if you get hit down to 0, we just start spawning coins in that room for you. It might not be obvious why that's happening. I'm not sure. So, yeah. Difficult thing with waiting for you to complete the floor is that you'll move glacially before you complete it. I mean, we probably just need to test this a little bit. Let's see. How did this thing work? It's done. Let's go try it out. Reveal in Finder. Copy. Paste. Get status. Get add dot. Get commit dash am doesn't matter. Get this thing. Pull it over here. And we go try it out. So it added in a bunch of slimes for me. I didn't tell it to do that. This is supposed to be the slime. We can't see it. Oh, we got to build first. Build failed. Merge conflict. Wait, how could there be merge conflicts? Oh, with... Wait, no, there can't be merge conflicts. What? Oh, with Dungeon Racer player? Okay, that could have a merge conflict. I didn't see that. All right, fine. I'll figure this out. So slime, we want this over here. We also want this over here. That one, that one. Falling, get rid of this. Slimes hit this attack. Interesting. And the hash set, that should be pulled in from over here. Okay. This is good. Actually, just apply all non-conflicting. Yeah. Hey, Scoreline, it's going really well. We've been working on the new Dungeon Racer game. And I am liking how it's shaping up. I'm liking the ideas behind it. There was a time in Skelliseller where I was not certain about how the game design should play out. And it was even very basic assumptions like, should the game be idle or like more idle or more active? We didn't even have an answer for this for the first, I don't know how many months. And then after we decided like, all right, it's more active. And it's like, well, what are you doing in the game? And then we didn't have an answer for that for a little while. And then once we started to get answers for these, now new systems started making more sense as to how they should work. It's like if you don't have any philosophy, figuring out if some new piece should be coded is almost impossible. It's like, well, how does that fit with no philosophy? So you need to have some direction for this, right? Let's say you're making a what is it, Dark Souls game. It's like your basic things are, okay, it should be difficult. There should be some like trolley scenarios that happen. There should be some kind of progression. There should be cool boss fights. So if you're designing a mechanic and you're like, you know what, let's just give infinite strength to the player. It's like, well, that kind of bypasses the difficulty. That doesn't fit with our philosophy, so let's reject that. We are starting to develop more of a philosophy for this game. And I would say that it's still supposed to be casual and accessible. And this is kind of part of it being casual. And it should be fun and funny. There should be a story that people, you know, at least care a little bit about, but it's not like the main focus. And yeah, we're figuring out like every game should be broken in some way. So we probably need to add in some tutorial text here when we get to the cleanup part, because it's not obviously a tutorial. They don't always need to be that way. Maybe make it more obviously a tutorial. Add text like maybe this would work best for the puzzly bits. Yeah, so now we just got to work our way through this merge, and we can check out slimes. Let's shrink this a bit so I can actually read some of this. So what is going on here? If input is not enabled, return. It's for play hurt animation. It doesn't make sense for this to be here. I don't understand why this is a conflict though. If I click that. Where did this code come from? I think this is from me accepting something already. Also, what is this little off here? What is that? Oh, I see. Well, something's wrong here. Yeah, something's wrong here. Let's just cancel out of this for a sec. Yeah, discard changes. I'll go back to resolving this. I want to see what that function looked like before I did anything. Where's play hurt animation? Here it is. Yeah, but this doesn't make sense to me. Man. Oh, this was deleted? Oh, I see. I just didn't understand how this renders. Okay. Yeah, it's got deleted from here so we could just play the hurt animation. Okay. So let's go back to how we had this before. We want pretty much all this stuff here together. Yeah. What else do we have? That's it. And what does this thing try doing? If not, can start hurt animation, and then start hurt animation. And start hurt animation does what we used to have here. I think this is what we want. And I think we just X out of this one. No, that's it. Okay, I'm going to click apply, but will it work? Neat. Very cool. All right, it is very hard to attack a slime moving away from you. I never coded this. Try this again. This time we're going to fall. Yeah, I think I need to fix the hitboxes because this is very punishing. What happens if we get hit? Oh man, nice. We go really far back though. Yeah. So the hitboxes need to be fixed. But yeah, in general, this is pretty neat. Very cool. The hitboxes and the amount that you get sent back when you get hurt. Just they can't send you that far back. I want to see what happens when it makes you hit a wall doing that. It should be fine. Whoops. Yeah, it's fine. Favorite rap song? It's been a long time since I've listened to rap or hip hop. So it's hard to say. I don't know if you call it rap exactly, but I like Lupe Fiasco back when I listened to more music that was lyrical. But that's also telling you how long it's been. I don't know if he's still making music. Okay, cool. I mean, I could just slash slimes for hours. So why do we not have anything rendering here? Because this is all made through a script. Do we have static sprite frames at least? Sprite frames. Yes, we do. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's better if these are made in the editor as well. You should probably write that down somewhere. Slime.tscn should probably render directly in the editor. How do we render their points? Patrol points? Oh, that's unfortunate. I was hoping you could see where these are. There's no way to do that? That's rather unfortunate. Godot allow picking a point in the editor? You can export any Godot variants, I believe, right? So we can export a vector 2. Could we export a node 2D? You probably could, but I guess you need to make nodes for all of them. Maybe the way we should do this then is that each slime comes with 2 child nodes, the start point and the end point. I'm not sure. I just wanted this to be more visual. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, we only need one other point if we do that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, maybe that's how we should do it. All right, so there are 3 problems then, right? Problem number 1 is when you get hurt, you shouldn't get sent flying so far. Problem number 2 is the collision boxes on the sword or maybe the slimes doesn't feel good. And problem number 3 is slime should have visual patrol points. We only need a single point, and we can treat their starting point as the second point. Okay. All right, so as far as the pieces go, we added in some slimes. I actually don't really want to keep these here. It's okay that they exist, but like, I don't see a point in keeping them around. Should I just keep one of them, maybe? Yeah, let's just keep one. How about that? Roll back. Done. Okay, next up is the player. We just looked through this already when it came to merging this. So I think everything is fine. So move and slide must set the velocity here. It does. And then nothing decreases that velocity. So we can just decrease it. Yeah. Move and slide right here. We do velocity equals velocity dot lerp vector 2.0. Wait. Maybe 0.1. I don't know. Let's just try that and see what happens. Yeah, that's a lot better. Wow, look at that. That's perfect. Who would have thought that would feel so good on the first try? Wow. All right. Yeah. Very nice. Awesome. All right. Well, that's fixed. I want to review the code first, then I want to look through the collision boxes. Yeah, player would have taken damage. We now have coins in here, so we can connect that. I think we have that written down already. Yeah. No, wait. I don't. Wait, I really don't? Okay. Getting hit by an enemy should make you lose coins. Maybe you lose coins based on how many you have. So if you have like fewer than 150, you lose 15. And anything else and you lose 20. Something like that. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Knockback direction. Okay, all this is fine. This is knockback. We should rename this to knockback direction. Oh, renamed it even here too. Interesting. But yeah, looks good. Velocity is 0 at the end of that, and that's fine. Yeah, I'm happy at how well that worked. Can start hurt animation as if input is enabled. Why does input have to be enabled for that? Cool. Yep, this looks fine. All right, room 1 and room 2 added a slime as well. You know what? Actually, let's just leave it there. Let's roll back this. Let's just have room 1 that has a slime. Yeah. I'll add these other ones later. All right, so slime is the main thing. The slime scene, if I go load that up. I don't know why Godot does that. Okay, we have a sprite, we have a damage area, and a collision shape. Couldn't be better. So that's fine. The UID is fine. So all we have to do is review this one file. And how long is this? It's not too bad. So let's start by having an auto format. Nice. All right, nice. It made these. I'm glad. Hurt, death, and movement. Shouldn't we have these, though, in string name somewhere? Death. Yeah, so we'll put that in cleanup. See if any new string names under Dungeon Racer can be put into Godot string names. Death animation certainly can be. And I think we have hurt. Yeah, we have hurt. And movement. It should probably be called walk. Don't we have walk here? Yes. We should change movement to walk. And we should relocate the shared animations to the shared region in that file. All right, not bad. Let's go back to this. So damage area, hits remaining, starting hit count is 2, is moving toward end. Sure, this is just for patrolling. Yeah, we're going to change some of this anyway. State starts as spawning. I think that's fine. Hey, Kinslayer. Happy 5 streams. Does it look weird that they spawn in like that, though? Like they glow a little bit? Do you see that? I think it looks a little strange. Here it is again. Yeah, it looks a little strange. It's not bad, though. God, how great. Oh, you can't get hit unless you walk onto them. Okay, that's a problem. That's kind of funny. A slime walking onto you cause the hurt animation if you weren't already hurt. Very cool. All right, color gets exported. The patrol points get exported. Control origin. We start a position. Yeah, having the 2 points. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Animation finished. Why do we do this? If it's spawning, set them to alive. Can they not take damage unless they're alive? If it's spawning or dying, return. Otherwise, start patrolling. Yeah, they only have 3 states. This is totally fine. Yep. Yeah, sounds good. How does it know not to add empty frames? Oh, because we pass in the frame count? Easy peasy. Yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, very, very good. Yeah, I don't see anything unusual here at all. Set damage area enabled. This is when they're dying. Yeah. All right, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's go check that in. Add slimes. There's one in the first room for you to test. There are still some rough edges. So if I do get status here, can you do, yeah, why is that? New commits into this. Wait, did I just forget to check this box before? I didn't see it in the morning though. I didn't have anything there. Get diff. Wait, it's showing a change now. It didn't show a change earlier. These numbers are the same, but they're not the same over here. What is this commit? And have I even pushed this to be able to go check it? Wrong translations repo. Collect strings to be translated. Here it is. Huh. I guess let's just check the box. Update translation submodule. I mean, shouldn't cause any problems, right? It doesn't even have a commit message. So now get status shows nothing, right? Get push. Hey, Nomad. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, so I wanted to show this off. I mean, I guess you can them. We don't have sound or music yet. But yeah, you can walk around. You can slash at these slimes. You can go down into different floors. There's nothing actually on the floors yet. And on the first floor, you can make the floor start falling. There's no way to outrun it because there's just a wall at the end. So eventually it'll fall off. And now you're in endless mode. And yeah, there's nothing here. So you just run forever. But we'll put slimes, we'll put coins, we'll put little like obstacles. But yeah, eventually it will catch up with you and you will die. And if you stand around for long enough, your character has a little standby animation, which will show pretty soon. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Okay. So collision boxes on the sword do not feel good. Let's go take a look at these. Dungeon player. Animation. Attack 1. This looks fine to me, but we stop it from monitoring here. Even though your sword is still out. Like here, I don't think this part of the sword needs to hit anything. That's fine. But then you swing it. And then it's disabled almost immediately. I wonder why we do both of these things. I think monitoring would just be enough for it, right? Yeah, it's only these 2 frames. All right, how about this? Let's just advance this over to here. We need to do this for pretty much every one of them. But let's see. Are any of those shapes wrong? Yeah, like this shape is just wrong. So we should just relocate that, right? This is just the position though. It's not the size. It is the size. But I need to snap to whatever this is snapped to. 0.512. Is there really no way for me to change this? What is the increment that's going by here? Oh, 0.064. Is already set to that, but this doesn't align. .282. Yeah, why is this off by a little bit? You can't, oh, because of this. Okay, well, this is annoying. Yeah, this is annoying. We have got to get this working. So set the size over here. Then we go to this frame, and yeah, it's just totally off. We want it to be like this. And we need to change its position too, right? Oh, right. We can't do that. God. There's got to be a better way to like snap the cursor to this section. If I right click, what happens? And is this set to discrete? That might be another problem. Well, anyway, there we go. So there's that. Then we want the position as well. Create reset track. No. Sword hitbox needs a position. Wait, yeah, this is going to be a problem. Oh, I don't like this. I do not like this. Oh, this is not safe. Dungeon piece got an updated UID. Sure, whatever. Let's revert this. I think I know how I'm going to pursue this. Apply, or like update UID. Godot did this automatically. All right, here's how I think we're going to do this. We're going to tell the AI to consolidate these tracks. We should not need the position of the hitbox and the shape to change. I want the hitbox to remain at 0, 0. And then modify instead the size and position of the shape. Yeah. So let's not do this in a new work tree. As an animation player, it has animations for all of, I guess like with animations for all of the attacks. It's unwieldy to work with because what's going on? Weird. Because sword hitbox and sword collision shape both basically control the same thing. I want this all collapsed down to just sword collision shape. That way I can move the shape around and snapshot its position and size. Do we lose anything by not toggling monitoring the way that it is now? I'll have it plan this, but this is not a very involved plan. Also, how are we doing in terms of quota? 53%. I am very happy with the progress so far today. Yeah. And I've mentioned this a bunch of times. I think that I'm moving much faster than I would have had I done all this myself. Like even just, yeah, yeah. I think it's faster. And this especially, I want to fix these collision boxes, but like I gotta go make all these changes now. I would hate to do this by hand because we have what, 8 of these, and I would need to reposition everything, and it could go make them all identical to what we have and just easier to work with. Every attack opens and closes both properties on the same frames, owns only this one shape. Key semantic distinction is directionality. Monitoring controls what the sword area detects, while monitorable controls whether other areas can detect the sword. Current animations never touch monitorable. Yeah, I'm using AI now. Hey, Loggerhead. We just disable the shape altogether. I think just disabling the shape should be fine. And that's what I'm hoping is the case here. That we lose basically nothing and can just fix these broken shapes. And yeah, once you start looking at them, you realize like, yeah, these are just off by a bit. How do we prove this? So the down animation, that one's fine. It follows the sword very closely. The left animation is very broken. Here, this is obviously not following it. Oh my God, you know why? Because, oh my God. All right, so take a look at this. This is annoying to me. There are 4 rows, and they face down, right, up, left. You look at this one. 4 rows, down, right, up, left. Every single sprite sheet is down, right, up, left, except for the attack ones, where all of a sudden it switches to down, left, right, up. So I had told the AI, like, they're all down, right, up, left, thinking, or whatever it is, thinking that they're all the same. But the person who made this sprite sheet just put these in a different order for some reason. Probably just a mistake. So AI just did what I told it to do and coded them in, and they were obviously in the wrong direction. Well, now I'm realizing when I updated it, I didn't tell it to update the swinging animation. So this is really up. It probably looks perfect for up, but it thinks that it's left. And then right is really left. And then up is really right, I'm guessing. Yup. Yup. I'm using Codex, so it's not local. All right, so what's the plan here? Okay, so leave monitoring permanently enabled, remove its monitoring tracks, retarget every position track to this position, preserving all values and timings, and keep disabled position shape size as a 3 animated properties. Yes, that sounds good. Stop changing monitoring and code. Okay, sure. Rename disabling helper to reflect that it now controls the collision shape. Sure, that's all fine. Yeah. Implement this, but then we got to change the shapes. And now that I realize that they're just swapped, it should be very simple to fix. Where is that? Here, collision box on the sword. They don't feel good. So left is really up. Up is made as though it is right. And right was made as though it is left. And down is fine. Right. Yeah, down is fine. Now, we still need to see if this feels good, because like I said, the sword lingers here, but this does not count as being collidable anymore. So I don't know what we want to do for that. And then attack 2 probably has the same issue. Down is fine. Yep. Left is up. And that's what I have written, right? Yeah, up is right, I'm guessing, and right is down. Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's go have another agent do this in a work tree. Work tree, dungeon racer. A slime walking onto the dungeon racer player should cause the player to be hurt. Right now, we require the player to move onto the slime. if you're already in the hurt animation, you shouldn't be able to get hurt again. All right, I'm not even going to plan this one. This should be pretty straightforward. So this we're having AI do, and this we're starting to have AI do. What does this button do? It looks like a button, but it doesn't seem to actually do anything. Huh, strange. Okay, well. Yeah, the goal for the remaining like 3 hours I plan on streaming today is to get the Zelda part of the dungeon working pretty well. Again, for those who did not hear what it is I'm planning with this game, it starts off as a Zelda style dungeon. You go from room to room. There's some puzzles to solve. There's some like enemies to kill. It's not supposed to be hard. And then you get a bomb, and you bomb one of the walls that has a crack in it, but it makes the entire dungeon start falling away. And now the game changes into an endless runner. So this is all to fit the theme of stuck in a broken tutorial. Like the broken part here is that bombs aren't supposed to work that way. You'd expect to bomb a wall and the wall gets destroyed and you solve the next puzzle. So we're having you go through 3 to 4 rooms of a Zelda style dungeon, making you think this is a Zelda style game. But then it turns into like Sonic the Hedgehog basically. And I think it should be a fun experience. Now, progress we're making, I know I checked this a lot, but I wanted to be ready to play test on August 1st. And we're making progress, I think, so quickly here that we should hopefully be done with the Dungeon Racer by like hopefully the 23rd, which would give us a full week to just work on any remaining parts we need to do, which should be balancing the top-down shooter, adding in all the story phases, those segments that we need, and then, yeah, polishing stuff, I guess. So this has been pretty amazing. All right, awaiting approval, which I never wanted to do. You know, let's just go ask this thing. Tasks. New task. I want to just start a new chat. Ask quick questions with chat. Medium? I don't know. So for SIVT, despite my best efforts with config.toml and agents.md, it keeps asking me for permission to make temporary .gt files. It's also not making them in the right location. Why is this happening? Yeah, this is the one thing that's bothering me about this. And if I can fix this and it just stops asking me for good, that would be wonderful. I should probably just go get my lunch now. Oh, I don't even know what I'm having for lunch. Do I have food left over? Oh, I know what I have for lunch. Okay, yeah. Some bread. I will make a sandwich. 2 separate mechanisms are involved. Screenshot shows the permission configuration is behaving as written. Profile grants access to this. It's trying to create that. Files outside the allowed directory. Why I choose the wrong directory? Instruction of the model, not a file system rule. It can tell Codex where it should put temporary scripts, but it cannot enforce or redirect writes. Simply failed to follow the instruction. Yeah, no kidding. Why? Why is it not following it? The conversation was already open when you edited it. That's definitely not the case. A different or overriding agents.md is active. Okay, you know what? Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should put it in the main agents.md. Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. Check overriding instruction files. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this in main one. Hopefully that fixes this forever. Codex, cat agents. All right, agents.md. When making temporary.gd files on Mac OS, create them in this. Never create GD files inside a private temp unless it's in this. Yeah. All right, what if that's all we need to do to fix this? I'm trying to get it to stop asking me for permissions. And I wonder if the root cause is using the project specific agents.md, or not the user specific agents.md that I have in the .codex folder, rather than the project specific agents.md. And if this doesn't work, I don't know. Is it time to like give up? It's just annoying. It's not like a total deal breaker. All right, so it's got done. Let's go take a look at the scene. Should be something we can just visually inspect. Here it is. Here's this. Yeah, perfect. And it should look the same as it did before. Yep, great. All right, I'm not going to validate all of these because some of them are wrong anyway. They were wrong. But 2 of them looks good. So let's go check that in. So done with that and that. So sword hitbox. We now get here and we just check area entered. And we disable the collision shape. Sounds fine to me. And then room 1 changed. Got rid of a color and a patrol point. Sure, I don't really care about that. Just close out of that and revert it. Roll back. All right, so collapse, or like make sword collisions easier to work with. We had them spanning the area 2D and the collision shape 2D, which made it hard for a human to change the properties. Yeah, I had AI collapse them into just the collision shape properties. Now we go do this. All right, so now the collision boxes themselves are mixed up for some directions. So this is attack 1 left and attack 2 left. Left was made as though it's up. Up was made as though it's right. Right was made as though it's left. Down is fine. So in other words, what we currently have as the size and position on the attack 2 left tracks should be used for attack 2 right. Is that correct? No, should be used for op. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's go try that. Now this is awaiting approval for something it should never await approval for. So let's allow this. Yeah. So part of the Zelda style dungeon thing that I wanted to do is I did want there to be some puzzles here to make you think this is more of a puzzle game. I just don't have great ideas for this. The first room, we're doing something with colorful slimes and these banners and lighting torches. But after that, I'm not so sure. I guess they don't need to be fun puzzles. They just need to seem like they were puzzles. Like a lot of older games. Here's a good example. Mega Man X Storm Eagle stage. A lot of old games had a, oh, just walk to the left instead of the right and you would find a power up. They have a map of this? Isn't there some like SNES video game maps? Where's that? Yeah, Mega Man here. bgmaps.com. Here we go. Mega Man X. Storm Eagle. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so you spawn here, and the map does not show you, like, you can't see this heart. So you need to go all the way up here and then jump to the left, and you get this heart. And this is, you know, video game puzzles 101, basically. I mean, maybe you don't expect it for a Mega Man game, especially if you don't know that there are even hidden things in the game. I don't know if the instruction book told you. Collect all the coins as you run. I mean, yeah, that's a kind of staple that we're gonna have in this game. I want to come up with a puzzle, kind of. Will it hype itself up and congratulate itself? Guess I should adjust it, but it's kind of funny. Does Codex do that? No, although I stopped reading a lot of its output in the interim. I mostly just read the code that it produces, and if I need some extra explanation, maybe like why it did something. But I find that the way it types and talks is totally fine to me. Some people commented a long time ago about like, oh, it uses a lot of emojis or something. First of all, I'm not even bothered by emojis, but it's not doing that. I think if it were extreme in any direction, I would just modify agents.md and tamp it down. Did it plan this? I did not mean to plan this. No, I don't think it planned this. It just did it, right? So now we should just be able to go into the scene and everything should be fixed. This is what's just so amazing. Like, I don't have to click all these things and do it myself. So that one's already good. This is perfect. Right is perfect. Up is perfect. Yeah, nice. And I'm assuming they're all fine here too. Wow. Fantastic. So I wonder if that's all it took and now it'll just feel fine in the game. Let's go try it. We only have the one slime. I should probably go add in like 4 more slimes. I don't need to keep restarting. So I should just be able to attack this from pretty much any direction and it should feel fine. Yeah, I should also try with my second attack. So like this and then up. Yeah. All right, yeah, feels good. Let's go put in some more slimes. Room 1. I will... How do we do this? There's no easy way to do this because I got to modify their patrol points. Oh, you know what we could do? We could just set this to 48. Yeah, and then this one to 96. And let's just set this to 200. I just want there to be a few of these. Hopefully that works. They might fan out after they get created. Oh, that's not good. Okay, let's not spread them apart by that much. Maybe 32 and 64 and 96. All right. We should still be able to hit that one on the bottom. But the whole point here was I just wanted to test like... All right, nice, yeah. No, we can't hit that one on the bottom. That's fine. It does look like it's just barely out of range. We're not doing like a line of sight check or anything. I don't plan on ever doing that. Can we hit it with this attack? No, what about this attack? Oh, wait. Yeah, we can. Nice. Okay, just gotta get tricky with it. All right, good. Let's delete these. So this scene being modified is all I really cared about, and this I do not care about. Fixed collision shapes on attack animations. These came about because SnowHex made the attack sprite sheets follow a different basing order from every other sprite sheet. And I hadn't opened them up to realize that that was the case. when I finally did, I had AI fix the visuals, but not the collision. Gotta make sure to blame Snowhex in there. All right, so this stuff's done. And we had one other change out here. Where was that? Slimes now check current overlaps every physics tick, so slime movement can initiate damage. Wait a sec. Try hurt overlapping player. Shouldn't we just do this with an event? This doesn't seem smart. Would this be a way to do this? You can also maybe see the structure I'm going for, but with the intro game menu credit scenes, screens as I call them, semi-inspired from what you explained earlier. Not sure about doing add child versus assigning directly, but then you can't free the previous, right? I think this looks fine. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Plus, it's working for you, right? Intro could end early, skippable, so I use the signal thing you mentioned. Yeah. You know what people need to stop doing? They need to stop putting unskippable, like almost banner ads at the beginning of their game. I want to say, I don't know why this is the first game that came to mind, but GameCube PSO, there was some like intro screen. I'm never gonna be able to find this, am I? So yeah, there's the GameCube logo. Then I could have sworn it showed you the logos of like who worked on it. I get why they're doing it. It's just you should be able to skip it. Yeah, I can't find it. Wait, tower defense with cards. But isn't who was just here? Dang Good Games, I think. That's weird. I can't find their Steam page. Cinestella, thanks for the resub. Can't renew myself till tomorrow, but I can announce it today. Yeah, thank you. And hey, Yushi, how do you avoid procrastination? I think the stream helps with accountability quite a lot. And I think beyond that, it's just like building up some discipline. You know, what are your work hours? Try not to do non-work things during your work hours. I don't know. I have trouble with procrastinating in other realms of my life. Like, yeah, there's always just these like difficult tasks that aren't super high priority that I sometimes put off. And yeah, at some point I just start going through my to-do list and I eventually tackle them. It just takes me a while sometimes. Well, let me see if I can find this other person's game. And I'm pretty sure it was their game. Yes. So this is the game that they showed in the chat the other day. But they've got cards, although I don't know where exactly. Yeah, here. I guess on the bottom right. So yeah, it's kind of like what you're talking about. I'll link it to you. This is absolutely beautiful. Everything matches the plan and works flawlessly. I still think some amount of sycophancy is a good thing when it comes to AI. Like, I want some validation. Like, hey, you did a good job, or that's a good question to ask. But yeah, it doesn't need to be congratulating me all the time. It's for learning only, not a result. Oh yeah, and I'm not trying to say like you shouldn't make this because someone else is making it. I think 500 different people can make a card game, and you'd probably have like 200 different ideas in there. You wouldn't have 500 different ideas because a lot of people would just copy someone else. Congratulating yourself. Yeah, okay. So self-sycophancy is probably not very good. All right, so where did I leave off with this? Oh yeah, this. Is that I can't keep doing this. I gotta actually take a break. So where I left off, I want to know, well, I should type in the prompt. I guess I just don't need to read it right now. Why are you checking? Where is it? Get overlapping bodies every frame instead of listening. Oh, because it's not necessarily when they enter. Oh, this would be necessary. Then okay, fine. So then I should merge this code, but I'll do this after lunch. Yeah, it's 11:30. Yeah. So where I left off, I need to merge the slime code. The reason that it uses get overlapping bodies every frame is in case the player never left the region. Actually, we could just track that. Yeah, I should do that. Instead of calling get over, well, should I? If there's no performance issue, really, what do I care? Yeah, I don't care. I don't know. Maybe do it this way anyway. Yeah, instead of calling get overlapping bodies every frame, would it be better to listen for when a body enters its region and then just check to see if the body is still there? Okay. I'm gonna go get my lunch. So it is about 11:30. I'll be away for about an hour or 75 minutes or something like that. So I'll try to be back by like 12:45ish. And then I plan to stream for another 2 to 3 hours. Pretty much whenever we start running out of steam here, because I noticed that my afternoon streams have not been as good as they used to be. I'm not still totally sure why that's happening. I don't know if it's like I just ate too large a lunch or it's AI usage or what. So as long as we're making progress, we'll continue. I suspect it's going to be at least 2 hours. So thank you all for being here. Thanks for watching. And I will hopefully see you again in about 60 or 75 minutes. Take care. Bye, everyone.